FlossTube. This is Becca with My Stitchy Home. Thanks for stopping by. Today's date is Thursday, March 19th, 2020. It's been a month since I uploaded a FlossTube. This channel is mostly about cross stitch, but a little bit of quilting thrown in. And yeah, I filmed last on February 3rd. And I did not feel well, so it took a while before I felt up to actually doing the editing and the upload and writing the description, and that takes a little something. But anyway, I'm glad you came to see me and that I can provide some updates on what I've been doing. This is, as we all know, a crazy time in the world with the coronavirus, and I hope you all are well, your families are well. It continues to spread, and I know it's anxiety producing. If I stop and think about it, it is. But I'm trying to focus on the fact that during this rather unique time, with no quilt classes to go to, no stitching get-togethers or anything like that, that I can work on my projects at home. And we're very fortunate that we have a hobby. As I've heard other floss tubers say, we're very fortunate we have a hobby where we can just work on our craft and get projects done. If you're not feeling it, you're just sitting there watching me and watching other floss tubers and having a hard time getting motivated, that's fine. Take a look around your house and get your mind off of the crazy and onto completing some projects. It doesn't have to be stitching related. It could be projects around the house, looking up recipes, planning things to eat. If you can't find your regular food supplies at the grocery store, then maybe something else. So the first thing I want to do is announce a giveaway, the giveaway winners, that is, from the last video. This chart, Hearts by Heart and Hand, was won by Julie R. Stitches. I think you won another giveaway in the past, so I'll look back and see if I have your address, and if I do, I'll put this in the mail. If you don't think you've won a giveaway from me before, then please email me at mystitchyhome@gmail.com and send me your address, and I'll put that in the mail to you. The second giveaway we had was cross stitch 12 fun projects to make, and the winner for that was Marie Hahn, H-A-H-N. So Marie, congratulations. Congratulations, Julie. Marie, let me know what your address is, and I will put that in the mail to you. So thanks for your comments, guys. It was fun to read about what people's first stitching was, you know, if they could remember. So past finishes, let's talk about this quilt behind me. This is called a 4-patch posy, and it may be kind of difficult to focus on a block, but let me show you. The original fabric was just this overall floral. And let's see. So this block, for example, from where you are, it probably looks like this is all one thing, but there's actually 4 blocks. It creates this kind of florally motif or kaleidoscope look, and it was really it was the first quilt that I made 2015, I believe. So I came up with this idea of sort of making it look like a window, and you know, the triangles on the outside. I didn't realize that was difficult and that it created bias at the edge and all that, but I had it semi-custom quilted by a local quilt shop, So Much Fun, in Columbus, Georgia. So that's called 4-Patch Posy, and it's a great beginner pattern. The most difficult thing is lining up 4 repeats from the fabric, the exact same section of fabric 4 times, and cutting every piece the exact same. That is challenging. It requires some careful pinning. But anyway, so that's the first pass finish I wanted to show. And the second is this, I guess you'd call it kind of a table topper type thing. I took Introduction to Quilting at Joann Fabrics in, I think, November or December 2014. I didn't even have a working sewing machine. I had to use one of their sewing machines. And we made this block during class. This block during class. And then fast forward several years, and I quilted it. Let's see. I used a stencil and traced out a design, and then I used my sewing machine to quilt it. And so I just have it on my side table and helps protect the table. So that's a pass finish. And then finally, this cross stitch. Sorry for the glare, but I didn't want to take it out of this is a key holder. It hangs right inside our back door, and that's where we drop our keys when we come in. I made that for my husband. I think it's 2017. I've got my initials and his initials in the year, so I think it's 2017. And that design is called No Rest for My Needle. It's Designs by Lisa, and I stitched it on, I believe, a 28 count linen, and I just used miscellaneous floss. I'll insert a picture of what the original design looked like here. So the original design was, you know, pale pink and light tan, and I just darkened it up a bit since I was giving it to my husband. So okay, shout outs. I want to give a special shout out to fellow FlossTuber and friend Stacy Alexander, the 911stitcher. She had surgery on her knee Monday and is, you know, hurting. So, you know, if you follow the 911stitcher, please go give her some stitchy love through through the internet, and send her an email or put a comment on one of her past videos. It may be, you know, 2 or 3 weeks before she's up to filming again. If you're not familiar with the 911stitcher, I would say what she's best known for, in my opinion, is keeping up with new releases. I suspect that she's either going to the websites of the different designers or on their email distribution list or getting their newsletters. While any of us could go and run down what our favorite designers were releasing, Stacy really does a good job of doing that research kind of for us. And tells us what they are and shows us pictures of what they look like. And so she's a great one to follow, just to kind of keep up with what's new and what's going on. So special shout out to you, Stacy. Hello. I hope you feel better really soon. And I'm wearing a t-shirt today that's not Stitchy related exactly. This is a website or Facebook page, Power Tools with Threads, by Becky Thompson. And I came across her because I was looking to do some applique, and I wanted to use my brother's Scan and Cut to cut the fabric, and she had some videos out. So her thing is, you know, using the brother's Scan and Cut to cut the applique, and then machine embroidery and applique. So if you also do sewing, quilting, applique, or you're, you know, interested in that kind of thing, check out Power Tools with Threads. And her videos are very, very short, typically, you know, 10-15 minutes, and you'll learn a lot. She's very enthusiastic. Other shout outs, people I'm watching: Melanie from YarnsNThreads on YouTube, FlossTube, and Becca, another Becca, SambrieStitches, SAMBRIE, SambrieStitches. And like I said, her name is Becca, and I'd heard people talk about her, so I started watching her and got all caught up with all of her past videos. And then finally, a happy birthday to my birthday twin, Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher. So her birthday and my birthday are the same day, March 24th, next Tuesday. So happy birthday, Erin. I hope you have a great day. I have not yet picked my birthday start. Erin is suggesting that to do a birthday stitch along with her, to start working on something that's either St. Patrick's Day themed, or green, or luck, or Irish, something like that. And I'm sure I've got something. I just haven't been looking for it, but I'm gonna find something so that I can participate in that with her. A new finish, I mentioned the applique. So back in January, I started an applique block of the month with Sunday Best Quiltworks. Their block of the month is this Hawaiian applique. So this was January, and I'm just doing a straight stitch around the edge. And then February, and I managed to cut out these purple flowers on my brother's Scan and Cut, but I wasn't able to cut out the center section. I had some challenges. But this is what the fabric in March looks like. And this is batik cotton fabric. So I've got to work on that and get March done before the first Saturday in April. Although, because of the coronavirus, we're not going to have a Saturday, it's called the Saturday Sampler, where we pick up the next month's block. So we're not going to have that at the shop. So I may have some additional time, but in my mind, I need to get it done by the first Saturday. And then for a cross stitch finish, this is the 2019 Collector's Heart by Heart and Hand. And it says, "With my whole heart for my whole life." And then it has a little heart heart button on there that came with the pattern. And I'll insert a picture what the pattern looks like here. WIPs. So if you've been following me, you know that I set up these grandiose plans at the beginning of January of these year-long projects I was going to work on. And I worked on 2 of them of the 5 I think there were. I guess I just needed a break, but I do plan to go back and I do plan to continue to work on them. I needed to do something else. I don't know. Just, you know, this hobby needs to remain fluid and fun and all that. But I can show you what I got done on the range per week. I'm sure I'm not saying that correctly. So I went into the pattern. So like here's the pattern. And I'm trying to do 2 rows per week. And I considered the title at the top 1 row. I don't think it really is, but I treated it that way. And then I just in pencil, I wrote the end of 1 week. So January the 8th, January 15th, etc., all the way down. Well, I am to here, which is what I was supposed to have this whole row done by March 10th. And then these 2 little rows, March 17th, and then these 2 rows, March 24th, my birthday. So my plan is to get caught up with the 2 tiny little rows and then these bigger rows by next Tuesday. But here's a picture where I was before. And here's where I am now. So. And this is on banding that I believe is 22 count. So I love this. This is, and this is easy to take with me to somewhere to, you know, because once I get the pattern, the row started, I'm pretty much just the rest of the row is just like that. All right, the other project that is ongoing throughout the whole year is the 2020 Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler. And this is showing January, February, and March. And this is available on their website. And it's by Fox and Rabbit Designs. So last time I was here, and so I had, can you see this? I had this done, this little top. So I have finished this motif, and I've started on the big, this thing right here. And for some reason, I decided to stitch that in a variety of threads, this diamond in a variety of threads, and that kind of slowed me down. But I will get caught up and I'll get March done. That's important to me to do. All right, so those are the 2 whips that I worked on. New starts. So I had some new starts. On the quilting front, I took a class at Sunday Best Quiltworks using this book, New York Beauties and Flying Geese. And the pattern for the particular quilt we're working on is this one. Well, what we did in the first class was it's foundation paper pieced. So we made this part of the block, and here's the flying geese. We made this part of the block, and they go together kind of like that. And these will actually be cut down. They're about 1/4 3/8 of an inch bigger all the way around the actual what will be cut out and sewn together. But this gives you an idea. I'm using kind of a rainbow. These are most of the colors. There's some purples. Yes, there's purples that would be in here to complete the whole rainbow. So I've got to create some more of these and some more of the flying geese units before we meet again. And our next meeting was supposed to be April the 1st. And there would be some more parts of the quilt we would go through to teach us the rest that we needed to learn so we could complete the quilt at home. I don't know when we're going to meet, but I have homework to do, so I'll stay busy with that as well. And then I started a cross stitch called Lovely Garden, designed by Sandra Cozzolino, Imaginating Ink. Imaginating Ink. And it's this pattern. And here's where I am. Still working on the center. The colors are so beautiful. I mean, it's just beautiful colors. So, all DMC, but it's very, just a few stitches, you know, in each area. It's kind of slow going. All right, then A New Beginning. And I started this like right after, I'm pretty sure, right after I filmed the last time. I was going to have it be a leap day start, and I just couldn't wait. So I started, I don't know, around the 15th, 14th, somewhere in there. And this is A New Beginning. It's an Abby Lane design. And the called for, I'm using an ivory 32 count linen, and the called for Weeks Dye Works threads. So that's where I am. So if you look at the original design, it has, let's see if I can point, it has an A, B, and a C, right? Yeah, ABC. So I decided to change that to be my initials. So I had to make the C smaller, and the C is my middle initial. And to make it fit in the spot that the B fit in, I had to make it one space narrower and one space less tall. Had to completely draft what the R would look like for Rebecca, and I took the B and kind of turned it into a little bit of the K. I don't know. I just kind of worked on that and got that all charted. So this is a lovely stitch. I'm stitching 1/2 threads on the 32 count, which normally I wouldn't stitch 1/2 on 32, but I wanted it to have a really light feel, and I think it covers pretty good. Then I heard, I can't think of her name, but I'll put it here. Anyway, she had a freebie February where she stitched a different free pattern every day of the month in February. And in her going through and showing how she found free patterns and where she found free patterns, I got interested in that. So when this popped up in my Facebook feed, and I'll just show it back here because there's no picture. It's from Fox and Rabbit Designs. I decided to do it, except where the alphabet was, you know, A, B, C, D, E, because Becca, my nickname, has the A, the B, the C, and then an E. I put Becca at the front and then continued on with D and then F. And I still have to do the J, K, L, but they'll all fit just fine. I mean, I did have to kind of squish a couple of things, but it's not bad. So again, the pattern here has some additional things at the top and at the bottom, and it's going really, really quick. So this is free, people, from Fox and Rabbit Designs. And speaking of free, some other free designs I've found out about recently, and there's several, so this is just a sampling. From Sue Hillis Designs, she put out this Be Well, Just Keep Stitching. So I may be doing that. Heartstring Samplery had out The Earth Laughs in Flowers. The Earth Laughs in Flowers. And again, this is just the chart. So it's flowers and then the words at the top and the bottom. And I'm very interested in doing that. That's super cute. And then finally, Hands On Design. She, in her last FlossTube, she shared this pattern with us. It says, "There's never a wrong time to say thank you." And I think she was just inspired because of how wonderful Market was for her, how much she appreciates her customers, the stores that carry her designs. And again, that was Hands On Design. And where did I find that? I think she had a link in the description box of her last FlossTube. So if you can't find these and you want more information, just ask down below, and I'll if I can find a link to them, I will put that in the description box. Okay, what have I been doing besides what I showed you I've been doing? I attended a retreat in St. Petersburg, Florida. It was a Friday, Saturday, February 21st, 22nd. It was hosted by Dawn Fisher, and she is the designer behind Morning Glory Needleworks. As part of the retreat fee, she came up with a pattern for a stitching prescription. And she gave us the polyfill we need, and sorry, I didn't take this out of the bag, the banding that will go around the bottle, the fabric for the top of the bottle, the floss, really pretty spring colors floss, and the prescription bottle. She washed these, she said. But in the bottle was our needle, a needle threader. I don't know that you can see that, but some pins, And finally, she found scissors. And to form scissors. But then when you don't need them as scissors, they just fold right up and they fit down in this prescription bottle along with the needle and the threader and the pins. So I've not made that yet. I kind of wanted to show y'all before I worked on that. The saying would be, like hers says, Dawn's stitching prescription, but she provides you with an alphabet so you can chart out your own name. So it'd be Becca's stitching prescription. Anyway, that's super cute. And I stitched the Friday of the cross stitch retreat, except for 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon. I just didn't feel well and I went and laid down. My husband, who went with me, he did some running around on that Friday. He went to game stores and such all around St. Petersburg, Tampa area. But then the next day on Saturday, we wanted to go to the 2 local cross stitch / needlepoint shops. And so we did. And we ended up being gone several hours. By the time I got back, they had decided, the group that was there had decided that they were ready to quit early. So instead of stitching till 8 or 9 o'clock that night, they pretty much packed up around 5 or 6 o'clock. And so I didn't stitch at all with them on Saturday. But I had a good time visiting the local shops. So one of those was the Crafty Framer, and I picked up this pattern. Y'all have probably seen this before. Broderie Paris. It's by Sue Hillis Designs, and I'll show you the thread that I got to stitch it in, inspired by how Dina of Half Stitch Cross Stitch, how she stitched hers. Once I saw her version, which is not red, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with the red, it just, for some reason, when I saw her version, I was like, okay, yeah, I want to get that. So I found that at the Crafty Framer. And then Who's Your Apple? Apple from Who's Your Apple, I believe, stitched this. And I have some Scandinavian in my ancestry, so again, I was like, oh, okay, I gotta get that. And then down low on a low shelf, you know, looking around, I found 2 boxes. They have this puffy top, and it's puffy on the inside. Oh, okay. So the inside comes out of the lid. So I guess you could put stitching around it. It makes me wonder. Oh, okay, the lid comes out. The lid came off. So that's great to know. I was just going to figure out, you know, a way to glue it down or something. But that's great. I can put stitching on the outside of the lid and inside the lid. And in the bottom is a padded thing. But it's all covered in red fabric. It's really, really pretty. So that's for finishing. And then, because I like hearts, they had a heart-shaped one too. So it's got a kind of an ivory puffy on the inside. Yep, that comes out. and the navy blue on the top comes out. So you could have stitching on the top and on the inside and on the inside bottom. It's puffy. So yeah, those were very reasonable. They had more. So if you're looking for a shop that carries this size, and I think they had a smaller oval, Crafty Framer in St. Petersburg, Florida. This might have been the only heart-shaped one they had, but they had different colors of this. So, and then we went to Silk Road Needle Arts, which is mostly, I would say, painted canvas, but they have a room filled with cross stitch and counted canvas work and linen and mono canvas. So I found this counted canvas design, Land of the Free by Needle Delights Originals. I've got red mono canvas as well as ivory, so I'm not sure. I'll probably do the ivory. I didn't bring that down, but these are the flosses and metallics and braids, one Krynic. So I've got that. Then the thread that I got to go with this pattern here was against, I don't know if you can, so it goes from purple and blue and green with a little bit of gold. It is Gloriana Highland Garden Dark. Highland Garden Dark. Also at the Silk Road Needle Art shop in St. Petersburg, I picked up summer baskets by Scissortail Designs. From Rosewood Manor, Amazing Friend. And this came with the buttons. And then I picked up some linen, Lakeside Linen, Zweigart base, 32 count bisque quarter. I picked up this box. Unfinished wood box. And so I'm sort of thinking about putting this design on the box, since this is about embroidery, and I think it's shown in a tray, as a tray, but I'm sort of thinking I might like to put it on the box. Then Kitten Stitcher, I ordered from kittenstitcher.com. You know, the whole market release thing. And I got Sewn in Friendship by Heartstring Samplery, her half of the design. And Plum Street, Sewn in Friendship, her half of the design. This is from Not Forgotten Farm, from kittenstitcher.com, but this is who makes it. It's this little, it's called a paddle with square top. Okay. Teresa also included these note cards for free. They're so cute. And I also bought from her 28 count mushroom Lugana. Good old mushroom Lugana. From Crazy Annie's Stitchin. I don't think I showed this the last time. I don't know why. But I got the December Floss of the Month, which is these beautiful colors. And these are color and cotton. And then starting in January, she changed to, I think she just changed to doing classic Colorworks. So we get 6 flosses. And these were all like a pale celery minty green and to white. From Toasted Marshmallow through St. Bernard. Rain Shower, etc. And then for February, we got these reds and pinks to cream. The lightest is 12 grain and the darkest is Cupid. That's nice. So we get 6 of those a month. I haven't gotten March yet. And then final haul. And this is from Deborah Berger. She has a needleworkershop.com. And I'll put that here and I'll put it in the description box below. So she went to market and I ordered the Sewed Together number 5 pattern by Jeanette Douglas. Buttons and bows. I have number 1 through 4. And number 6 is ribbons and trims. Plans. Well, interestingly enough, besides getting up to date with Linen and Threads Mystery, my 2 rows a week, paper piece quilt blocks, pieces that I have to do. This Sunday, March 22nd, there's a quarantine quilt along by GE Designs, and it's to make this quilt called Elvira. So you can go to gequiltdesigns.com, and I'll put that up here. On Saturday, March 21st, the full pattern will be available for download on her website. And this is what she looks like. And then Gudrun Erla is her name. And so then she'll be live on Facebook on Sunday, going live multiple times through the day with a 9 a.m. kickoff, cutting out the pieces and what the first steps are for block A, and then 11 a.m. cutting for block B and the first steps for block B. 1 p.m. Sundays cutting the setting rectangles. 3 p.m. laying the quilt out, sewing it together, and 5 p.m. Checking everyone's progress and, you know, revealing the final quilt. It looks like a very simple pattern, and it uses, to do the crib size, uses 12 fat quarters. To do a lap size, uses 20 fat quarters. And then your binding and backing fabric, of course. So if you're a quilter or think you might like to try this weekend, go to gequiltdesigns.com and get more information. I believe it popped up in my Facebook feed because I follow quilt related pages and groups. Fat quarters are 18 by 22 inch pieces of fabric. Our 2 local quilt shops are closed, so I can't go buy fat quarters. I could probably buy them at Joann's, which is a possibility, or Hobby Lobby if they're open. But I kind of want to make do, you know, kind of want to make do with my stash. So if I do that, stay tuned. I'll show you what I do. After my last FlossTube, I went on a flurry of prepping to fully finish some items, and that's not done. I did a coat of paint on a tray, a coat of paint on a oval basket, and to put needlework in here, and I feel like I want to do something else to the paint. So, and then I've got a frame that I painted, and anyway, I've got a plaque that I need to mount. I just haven't felt like doing a fully finished day. You know, Bendy, Stitchy, Michelle, you need to have another international fully finished weekend, full finish weekend. And so we can get some things fully finished. That would be good. The only other thing I'll say is I hear other floss tubers talk about pain in their thumbs when stitching, or pain in their hands. I do still have that pain, particularly on the right side because I'm right-handed. I find that stitching in hand is less painful for whatever reason than stitching with a Q-snap or hoop. So I still do that. I still stitch with a Q-snap. I'll do it for a day or two, and then I need to take a break and stitch in hand. All right, that's it. Thanks for stopping by my Stitchy home. And y'all wash your hands. Wash these wonderful hands of ours. And take care. And I'll see you again probably in April. And if I hit 1,000 subscribers, or when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm at 926 right now. I plan to have a big giveaway. Yeah. So maybe I'll talk about that next month. Okay. Have a good day, everybody, and happy stitching. Bye.